The night of the fight, they weigh like a 20, 18 pounds more than you. Is difficult. It's more difficult, but my power is there. If you hear the punches, my power is different.
Yeah.
Going up 2 weight classes, really like 3. And early, I feel Terence will have great success. I mean, maybe he'll get Canelo's head snapped back or, you know, catch Canelo early.
Our great fighters, but I think Canelo's just too big, and you know they mistake him as being just a guy at 168, not a regular guy, and Crawford being the more talented. But that's not the.
With controlled respect, Canelo Alvarez responds to Terence Crawford's latest training video. He acknowledges that Crawford's preparation is disciplined and that there are hints of Floyd Mayweather's slickness in his style. Canelo maintains his self-confidence despite Crawford's talent and strength, saying they are insufficient to unshake him. Canelo adamantly states that he is prepared to rule and establish his greatness once more.
Good, you know, because first of all is the respect. If they treat you with respect, you do the same thing. And that's what I think. So, and I'm always try to do my best there. Not because I need it or because I need to, because I really appreciate everything.
Yeah, look, and you've been fighting pro now for what, more than 17 years, I believe.
Almost 20.
Wow, yeah, almost 20 years.
In October.
Wow.
I turned 20 years as professional.
The way opponents approach each boxer is one of the most obvious differences between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. According to pundits, Crawford, who is renowned for his technical mastery and adaptability, frequently encounters opponents who refuse to back down. They do not actually run across the ring, but they do respect his timing and counterpunch. The dynamic shifts with Canelo, knowing that his power punches have the ability to alter a battle. Fighters frequently circle away, move excessively, and attempt to survive instantaneously. This discrepancy is seen by analysts as evidence of Canelo's intimidating persona. He is a fighter whose blows have psychological and physical impact. Making opponents defensive before the first blow is delivered. This difference highlights Canelo's against Crawford's stylistic intrigue. Canelo thrives when his power and pressure weaken opponents' wills, but Crawford thrives when combatants engage.
I ain't even seen Gamboa run from Terence. As a matter of fact, I ain't even seen Victor Postal run from Terence. We ain't seen Madrimov in his last fight run from Terence Bud Crawford. But we do see people running away from Canelo Alvarez. People not trying to commit to Canelo Alvarez. We seen it with William Skull. Dude was just as cut up as anybody in the sport of boxing. Mother ever was running. The Cuban style, running. We already know that the Cuban school, man, they highly respected in the sport of boxing. He was running. Jamel Charlo, Iron Man Charlo. I ain't gonna say he wasn't running, but he wasn't committed. He wasn't committed the way that he was committed in the 154-pound division when he was knocking everybody else to get his titles, right? It was very uncharacteristic from Iron Man Jamel Charlo, a knockout artist, right? Even, I'm gonna tell you like this, even Dimitri Bivol was going at it with Canelo Alvarez. 1-2, but he was jumping right back out. Jumping right back out. He beat him in the style that Dimitri Bivol beat him. But it's not like he went out there and had that killer instinct and go for the gusto and stuff like that with Canelo Alvarez. He wasn't just trying to go out there and get him. He was beep, 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 jump back out, jump back out, beep, beep, jump back out. Hold on, I don't want to stay in the danger zone, right? Even though that he beat Canelo Alvarez, but you understand what I'm trying to say. Edgar Berlanga. We seen Edgar Berlanga using his footwork. We seen Edgar Berlanga using his footwork and stuff like that, right? He made a good account of himself, but he didn't commit that the way he was committing versus Mantequilla and all his opponents, because Canelo Alvarez is different. Canelo Alvarez is dangerous. I've been hearing, of course, a lot of people saying that Bud Crawford is dangerous, but ain't nobody. I never saw nobody that fought Terence Bud Crawford had fear in their heart, fear in their eyes. Even when they was getting beat down from Terence Bud Crawford, they still stepped to Terence Bud Crawford.
Canelo's sparring partners, who have personally experienced his power, offer a distinct viewpoint to the discussion. One sparring partner was bluntly skeptical of Crawford's prospects, stating that he could not see Bud successfully handling the additional weight. Experience serves as a foundation for the rationale. Bigger guys in higher weight classes, including light heavyweights, have been defeated by Canelo in fights. Conversely, Crawford was unfamiliar with the area. Although he might become stronger with the extra muscle, he runs the danger of becoming slower. Even a small drop could be expensive for a fighter whose success depends on his speed and accuracy. The sparring partner's perspective expresses worries that, despite Crawford's skill, the physical cost of putting on additional weight against a top fighter like Canelo would be too much.
I think Canelo's gonna win, but I tell everybody, man, as a business standpoint, I think it's gonna be a draw if it goes the distance. But I see Canelo getting the stoppage. I don't think Crawford's gonna carry that weight well. Even if he did put on weight, I don't think that was a good idea, especially coming up from a smaller guy. But it's gonna be a great fight. Two brains in the ring. It's gonna be good.
Mexican boxing legend and former world champion Fernando Vargas has made his position known. He maintains that Canelo Alvarez is necessary for Mexico to prevail in this battle. In addition to being a legendary fighter, Vargas views Canelo as a representation of Mexican pride, upholding the heritage of Julio Cesar Chavez and other Mexican icons. His accomplishments go beyond personal success. For supporters who view him as a modern-day face of Mexican boxing, it strikes a deep chord. Vargas underlines emotional consequences while acknowledging Crawford's genius. On the grandest platform, Mexico expects its winner to protect the country's honor. Vargas is convinced that Canelo needs to step up and win for both his nation and himself in front of the boxing world.
What's crazy is I'm a big Crawford fan as well. Like, every time he sees me and my brothers and my dad at fights, he comes out of his way, shakes our hand, and it's all respect. But I just feel the weight's a little too much, Marcos. I feel going up 2 weight classes really like 3. And early, I feel Terence will have great success. I mean, maybe he'll get Canelo's head snapped back or, catch Canelo early. Maybe I could see Terence Crawford go southpaw because you see Canelo has had a bit of problems with southpaws. You could see Canelo, I could see him getting frustrated, picking him up like how he does, like when he gets frustrated. But I say 6th, 7th, 8th round on up, I think he'll figure him out. And we need Canelo to get a stoppage, if not get a get a knockout. I think it'll be great for Mexico, and it'll be great for Razas. But I got Canelo, coming out with the video.
Historically, smaller boxers have faced challenges while stepping up in weight, yet Canelo's blows have stopped bigger opponents. But a lot of critics have been quieted by new video from Crawford's team. Bud appears larger, stronger, and sharper than ever in training footage. It seems that his increased weight has improved rather than decreased his athleticism. According to analysts, Crawford has added bulk without sacrificing quickness, displaying deft footwork and precise combinations. This metamorphosis has transformed the story from one of skepticism to one of fascination. Crawford appears to be a man prepared to take on the challenge rather than undersized, demonstrating that his discipline and preparation have enabled him to adjust to the challenges of a higher weight class.
Pounds, right? And again, stark contrast to what Terence Crawford is having to deal with. He is fighting guys, and when I say cutting down from 190, probably in the ring at 190 pounds, much less cutting down from it. Crawford's probably used to being hit by guys like Sean Porter, who, maybe 160 pound on fight night. The difference is just night and day. So I was thinking, how in God's name are you going to get around that? How are you going to get around the strength disadvantage? Because Crawford is very physically strong, and he normally always has, maybe with the exception of Sean Porter, although that was kind of much of a muchness. Sean Porter did really well that fight. He's normally always had the physical strength advantage. Very physically strong as Terence Crawford. And I just remember thinking, how are you going to get around that? You're used to hitting guys and they get hurt. Alvarez has been hit by Danny Jacobs. He's been hit by Triple G. He's been hit by Bivol, Kovalev, Callum Smith, etc., etc., etc. Big punching guys who are a lot bigger than Terence Crawford. Granted, not skillful, a lot bigger. So again, I'm thinking, how are you going to get around this? Well, Crawford has released a couple of training clips, and in those training clips, yikes, he's looking good for one. He's looking a lot better than Canelo was looking in some of his training clips. But again, you can't read a great deal into those training clips because, again, Alvarez is clearly holding back. You know, people say, oh, he looked terrible. It's like, well, you can kind of tell he's not going full tilt. You know, you can kind of tell that. So what does that tell you? You know, how many times have we seen guys look good on the pads and then on fight night they've nothing left? I distinctly remember Alexander Povetkin in the run-up to the second Dillian Whyte fight in an open workout.
Amir Khan, a former world champion who competed against Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, provided insightful commentary, citing Canelo's unadulterated strength and capacity to take punishment while delivering deadly counterattacks. Khan hailed him as a beast. Khan has direct experience with Canelo's strength from their 2016 bout, so he is aware of how harsh Alvarez can be. Because Crawford was stopped by Bud in 2019, he also understands his skill level. Therefore, his appraisal is credible. Although Khan respects both men, he maintains that Canelo has a distinct advantage because of his stature and athletic prowess. He believes that even the best boxers cannot ignore the threat that Canelo embodies.
You've been in there with Canelo, you've been there with all the best.
Beast, man. I thought Canelo at his peak. You know what I'm saying? And Canelo's a beast. And he's a great man. He's a good family man as well. Got a lot of respect for him. I like him. You know, we've always had mutual respect for each other. And he still has a picture of me and him in his front room. I saw on a documentary because he really thought that what was one of his biggest fights, like with the hype that he had and all that. So yeah, man, it was good times.
And then when people see that fight back, you're winning those early rounds.
I mean, look, it's boxing for a 12-round fight. You know, I mean, even though I won them early rounds, he caught me with a good shot. He had the power, he had the strength. I mean, he was so big. I remember thinking, this is easy. I can hit him when I want. But then obviously, I knew that when he hit me with a couple of them body shots and he hit me with them shots, I was like thinking, this guy can hit hard.
One major concern among fans and analysts is whether Canelo versus Crawford could fall into the trap that plagued Floyd Mayweather versus Manny. Pacquiao, that long-awaited super fight, though historic, left many disappointed by its cautious pace and lack of fireworks. The fear is that both Canelo and Crawford, aware of each other's strengths, may fight too carefully. Crawford may hesitate to exchange with a bigger opponent, while Canelo may slow the tempo to avoid being timed by Crawford's counters.
Hanging on a thread. If Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford pulls a Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather, there's no turning back. In this side of the pond, boxing is dead. Look, a lot of things is going to Saudi Arabia. David Benavidez, one of the phenoms in the sport of boxing, going to be performing in Saudi Arabia. Devin Haney going to be performing in Saudi Arabia. Just put this. Jerome Boots Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz, if it would have came to fruition, was going to happen in Saudi Arabia. Boots Ennis, and Tio could have happened in Saudi Arabia. Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia was going to happen in Saudi Arabia. So a lot of these big fight that it was planned was not going to be here. It's not going to be here. So for networks to trust the sport of boxing once again, this fight between Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford, whoever you pick, whoever you support, is more than just wins and losses. Doesn't matter. The fight has to win. Doesn't matter if Canelo Alvarez, doesn't matter if Terence Crawford win, lose. The fight has to win. Just like when it was Hagler versus Hearns on a Monday, prime time. Prime time, that was a fight on a Monday, prime time, free TV. They put up a wonderful performance to this day. People still remember, and it was only 3 rounds. Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, they better show out and entertain.
Shaquille O'Neal, the NBA legend, has endorsed Terence Crawford, saying he may be the greatest boxer of this generation. Shaq, who is accustomed to being dominant in his own sport, commended Crawford's flexibility and mid-fight adjustments. O'Neal claims that Crawford stands out from other fighters due to his unique combination of timing, accuracy, and poise. Shaq thinks Canelo's size advantage could be offset by Bud's tactical skill and mental toughness. His support demonstrates how Crawford's reputation has spread beyond boxing, garnering praise from athletes in other sports who can spot excellence. For Shaq, Crawford embodies a unique blend of talent and intelligence that distinguishes a generational athlete.
Canelo has to, Crawford has to box and not care to want a crowd please. He has to stick and move. If he sits there too long with Canelo, I think Canelo, his defense is great. He'll be able to withstand it and take him in deep water to win the fight.
Besides being a boxing coach, you're an expert in strength and conditioning.
That's right.
Crawford never fought more than 154. Do you think bulking up, obviously he's bulking up, we've seen the picture, he's moving up from 147, 54, 60, 68, he's gonna gain 15, 20, 30 pounds.
For sure.
Will that slow him down by around 5, 6, 7? The heart, the muscle, the oxygen you take. If your body's not used to fighting it at that size, it doesn't not make a difference.
It depends on what type of strength and conditioning you're doing too, though. So when you do explosive stuff and things like that, plyometric is different. But he has to bulk up, so he has to lift a little bit of weight. I'm pretty sure he has people with the knowledge and the proper money that he has to get the right people to do the right thing.
Commentator Skull offered his viewpoint, portraying Canelo Alvarez as the epitome of boxing success and accomplishment. He underlined that Canelo's transformation from a young Guadalajara prodigy to a multi-division world champion demonstrates his dedication and tenacity. Skull believes that Canelo's record goes beyond his wins and includes his constant rise to the occasion, fierce battles against formidable opponents, and bearing the weight of the sports industry. Canelo's success story elevates him more than merely a combatant. He promotes boxing all around the world. Despite his brilliance, Crawford is joining Canelo's world, where Alvarez has already solidified his reputation.
Shaq, what I meant, listen, you're a lifelong combat sports fan. You go to all the events. Everyone's talking about the one fight right now, Terence Crawford versus Canelo. Who do you got?
I gotta go Terence Crawford.
Terence Crawford?
Yeah.
Why?
This is the best ever.
Really? You think he's the greatest ever?
Yeah.
Over Ali, Muhammad Ali? I didn't know you were a big Terence Crawford fan like that.
You have to understand that there's eras, and in different eras, you can bring out the titles. Like, for example, Joker's the best big man now.
Right.
And I don't
You put Joker over you as the best big man? Oh.
Different eras and different times. It's not my era, not my time now.
True.
It's their time. So he's the greatest big man in the NBA right now. So I let the people decide who's that. But right now, Terence Crawford is the best.
So
and Floyd, because Floyd has never lost.
So how does Terence beat Canelo? Decision?
Or
Or
knock him out.
he's going to knock Canelo out?
Yes, man.
So they're going to have the fight at the Vegas Stadium, Raider Stadium. You're going to be there?
I heard it was off.
No, it's back on.
Okay,
now
yeah,
it's back
yeah,
on. It's
I'll be
in
there.
September 13th in Vegas.
I'll be there.
You'll be there. Front row? Front row?
Of course.
All right, cool. You're the man. Listen, I saw you lace up the gloves once versus Oscar De La Hoya. Can we ever see you put the gloves back on? Maybe versus Dwight Howard.
Why would I fight him? I only fight champions.
You only fight
See, my thing is, all these guys had a problem with me, but you wait till I turn 50 to say you want to fight.
Right.
I don't respect that. I'll fight Gronk, because Gronk is a champion, and he's a friend of mine, and I know that he'll compete.
So you want to box Gronk or MMA?
What up? MMA.
MMA.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
big respect. You're a legend. Hey, you're always the coolest. Congrats on another successful year at Shaq Stonehouse.
The legendary boxer Shane Mosley, who faced Canelo in 2012, gave a frank evaluation. Canelo is simply too large. Mosley recalls encountering a youthful Alvarez who possessed remarkable athletic prowess. Canelo has only gotten bigger, more proficient, and more mature since then. Although Mosley acknowledges Crawford's talent, he maintains that physics cannot be disregarded. It is quite difficult to move up several divisions to take on a natural super middleweight and former light heavyweight. According to Mosley, neither Crawford's talent nor his heart are at issue. It concerns whether his physique is capable of withstanding the inevitable punishment that Canelo meted out.
Former IBF 168-pound champion William Skull spoke about the upcoming Canelo vs. Crawford fight, as well as his experience fighting Canelo, with him citing that he was robbed and everybody knows it. William Skull, whose style of fighting received heavy backlash, also said that the way he fought was all part of their master plan. Skull, who was galloping a lot, said that the whole idea is to make sure that Canelo keeps on missing, in which William Skull himself argues that he was successful in achieving. He also said that the whole experience of facing Canelo Alvarez was bittersweet because despite not getting hit by Canelo, for some reason he still ended up losing, once again insisting that he was robbed. Now, when asked about his prediction for the upcoming Canelo vs. Crawford fight, William Skull kept it safe and vague without choosing a
Amir Khan, a former world champion who competed against Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, provided insightful commentary. Citing Canelo's unadulterated strength and capacity, to take punishment while delivering deadly counterattacks. Khan hailed him as a beast.
Better ring IQ, and he has better experience at an elite level that is not comparable with Terence Crawford. Some of you are going to be surprised that in September, Canelo's going to outclass him, not just outmuscle him. And if you don't believe me, listen to what Shane Mosley has to say about the upcoming fight. After that, drop a comment, like, follow, subscribe. It's a chopping box, baby. Yeah.
It'll be a great fight. I think both guys are great fighters, but I think Canelo's just too big, and you know, they mistake him as being just a guy at 168, not a regular guy, and Crawford being the more talented. But that's not the case. They're both talented. But the only thing is, Canelo has them by two-weight division. So I think that Canelo beats him pretty easily. But we'll see. If Crawford does good, I mean, kudos to Crawford. You know, I'm happy for him. If he can pull off, great. But my mental,
That concludes a video for today.